And now let's move to the next section. Our first speaker is Susan Liu, and the title of her speech is Keep Life Burning. And yeah,
sorry.
Welcome, Susan.
Did I interrupt you? Hi everybody, my name is Liu Siwei, and you can also call me Susan. I come from Beijing and currently a year 3 student majoring in accounting. Usually when people see me the first time, they will be surprised. Wow, you're so tall. And then the following thing will be, are you playing basketball? So actually, you see, I don't need any self-introduction at all. You can all figure it out by yourselves. So today my focus will be basketball. I can read from some of the faces. What if I know nothing about basketball? Or I'm afraid to death of sports? Don't worry guys, since I'm not professional either, so my speech will only let you realize how amazing life could be. Frankly speaking, I played basketball occasionally in high school, only during PE classes. And things changed after I entered Baptist University when I encountered with the men and student women basketball team. So for the first year, things went on quite smoothly. As a green hand, I started from the very basic techniques and gained an overall idea about the any match. And then came the tough second year, that is last year. We welcomed some members on board. One of them was a freshman at school, but quite experienced on court. And previous freshmen like me had grown up a little bit and tried to shoulder some responsibilities. So considering all this, the whole team held a strong belief that we could grab the champion that season. The screenings passed by just as we expected, quite smoothly. But during the final battle, everything, I mean the whole world, just went wrong simultaneously. Like the long distance shooters just couldn't score. And when we were bouncing it, the ball could get stolen. And like me, I stood right under the basket and I was supposed to have a higher possibility to hit the target. But the ball just seemed to be unwilling to get in, so it would hit the rim and just bounce back. So during the second half of the battle, we had no choice but to make our best endeavor to defend. On court, from the heavy breath and the crazy roaring around me, I could tell all my teammates were just burning and contributing themselves to the fullest. So that's why, in the end, we lost the game by merely 4 points, but we didn't regret it. Because we've already tried our best, we've already presented the best game we could to the audience. That's enough. Then this year, after recalling all the memories from the past, we need to move on anyway. So 2 weeks ago, just at the beginning of the semester, and also the brand new starting point of the season, the whole team held a sharing. As you could all anticipate it, this is the perfect time to show your confidence and your support to your fellow teammates, and also your own determination for the season. However, to my surprise, our captain started her speech in a very low voice and looking down to the ground like this. To be honest, due to the graduation of 2 leading players in our team, we haven't reached the height as where we were last year this time. Yet, we could look at it the other way around. Last year, we were 90% sure that we could win, but finally we failed. This year, even if we only had 10% of certainty to win, we could still make it. And the whole team just fell into complete silence, like just now. And then with a big applause. You know, real support at that time is the best and the most practical to all team members. You know, it's not like a building built in the air. The sense of crisis behind just united the whole team in mind. So let's wait and see who's gonna be the champion this year. Some people may enjoy going to the gym because they enjoy sports and maybe working out could make them feel energetic. Others prefer to work in a company where they could work with a team of energetic people, also make them feel enthusiastic at life. But basketball is just a perfect combination of these two. where you can do sports, indulge in sports, and also with a team of dynamic people. So this is an awesome way to keep life burning. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. And let me introduce. In our communication manual, there are 10 stages, and just now Susan finished and demonstrated the first stage, which is the icebreaker. And what is the icebreaker? We have 3 objectives. The first one, we would like to start speaking in front of the audience. It's just that simple. And to develop your speaking skills and just to introduce yourself to the fellow members. And here we come to another project 1, the icebreaker.
Excuse me. Sorry, the evaluator of our second speaker is actually waiting for the lift. Yeah. So shall we start with the third speaker, which is William?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
No, it's Kayla, I guess. Second speaker.
No, the evaluator. Her evaluator is coming. So you will.
So we'll swap the.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's William, and the topic is dropping oil price. William.
Oh.
Dropping oil price. And let me introduce further. What he demonstrates is for the stage 2, it is organized speech. And the objective is to select an appropriate outline for the listeners, which easily to digest the knowledge, and make the message clear.
Yeah, so the evaluator is coming, so you want to because I didn't prepare well, so
okay. So let me introduce Taylor for the 5 things I've never done before. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, so I already did impromptu speaking, and I promise that this will not be as bad as my impromptu speaking probably was. So as you can all see, I'm Kayla Niskis. I'm a study abroad student. I just got here a month ago. Yeah, this was the first one actually finishing. And so the topic of my speech is kind of an icebreaker, so I decided to talk about 5 things I've done while here in Hong Kong that I wouldn't or didn't really have the chance to do back at my university at home. So full disclosure, I'm from Wisconsin, and if you don't know where that is, it's middle north of the United States, like if you know where the lakes are. My state is this one. And so it's a lot of land area, but there are only 5 million people in the entire state, so that's 2 million less, I think, than in the entire city of Hong Kong. So it's very small, not a lot of large cities, and I have lived mostly in small towns my entire life. So a lot of the crowding is new, a lot of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Yeah, crowding, I think is a good one. There's so many people here that it's just different from what I'm used to. And then at the university itself, really spaced out, I feel like, compared to my university back home. I've never had to cross a bridge to get to any classes before, because I think my entire university takes up maybe 1 or 2 city blocks. But yeah, that's some of the university life is, very different, especially in the halls. And that's one of the first things I've never done before. I've never celebrated a birthday with an entire floor, because I have friends on my floor where I live back home in the dorm, but most of the people, I had no idea who they were, and I didn't see them, I didn't usually talk to them. I was mostly friends with people who were in clubs with me, who were in my classes, and I was roommates with my friends, and I knew like the 1 or 2 girls down the hall, but not really together. So the first time we had a birthday celebration at Hong Kong Baptist University, I had heard from a friend, like, yeah, they were playing all these pranks on the guys, they were throwing water down the hallways. Like, what's going on here? It was very fun though. They didn't throw water down the hallways. I don't know where he was getting that from, but it was very fun. I loved it. What's another thing? I have written on my hand so I don't forget. I talked a little bit about the city. Food, I think, has been mentioned several times. I mentioned that I'm really excited for Chinese New Year, in part because there does seem to be like special foods. I never well, I've had Chinese food, I should say, but it's not like real Chinese food. There's the perception that it's like not very good compared to all the stuff that's here, but I like everything that I've had here, so I've never tried like different dumplings and all this stuff. Yeah, so I'm excited for that, and I love all of that. What's another thing? Oh, yeah, another thing about big city, public transportation. Some of my exchange friends, Cindy probably knows, the first couple of times I tried to use the NPR was kind of a nightmare. I was the worst person, and I always picked the machine that was like broken. So I'd try to like get the ticket, and it would be like, no, please choose another machine, and I have to like turn around and go back, and I kept falling all over the place when the NPR would start and stop. So the public transportation situation is very, very different. There are no subways where I'm from, none. And the last thing that I've never done before is probably the global traveling. So that's probably the biggest difference. A lot of people, I think, when they came here, or when I told them I was coming here, they're like, oh, aren't you worried? You're gonna get culture shock so bad, it's gonna be so different. But I really like being able to go see lots of different places, to be actually so far from home. I think it's a really good experience. I love pretty much everything that I've been doing so far, and I don't know if culture shock has like set in yet, as big as they were warning me it might set in, but I'm just gonna roll with it and see where it takes me because I'm loving everything here. So that's all I got.
Thank you very much. And now it's your time, William. And let me repeat the topic of William. This is drop in oil price. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm William Kong, and I'm going to give you my second speech. And I'm going to talk about the oil. So, anyone of you know what happened to oil recently? The price of oil is very, very
expensive.
expensive.
Low.
Yeah, it's very low recently. It dropped from more than $100 per unit to less than, I guess, right now it's less than $40, around $40 per unit. So it dropped more than 50% from September last year. So, oh, sorry, I was waiting for some response like, oh! Imagine if you bought a stock and it dropped from more than 50%. What's your response? Yeah, that's the response. Wow, 50%. So what happened to oil? Why oil price dropped that much? This is actually one of the result of my assignment. So I do a lot of research and collecting the opinions from different experts of it. So I know it quite well right now. So any economics student here? I think you are the economics student, right? So if the price is going down, what's the reason? I will take it. Huh?
Yeah, demand.
Weak demand, yeah. Another reason?
Strong supply.
Yeah, strong supply, excess supply. But this time, yeah, they are the reason. But this time, there are another reason for the big drop in oil price. Any guess?
European Union? The European Union.
European Union? Sorry? Against Russia? Yes, kind of. Another reason is political issue. Yes, some conflict between European country and Russia. So, because the weak demand is the most obvious one, let's look at demand side first. In the demand side, the main reason is the global economic slowdown. As we all know that the global economy is slowing down. just open Google and type it GDP growth rate. No matter which country, China, US, or every country in the world, their economy is slowing down. So when economy is slowing down, the production will decrease, and the use of oil will decrease. So the demand for oil is decreased. That's why the weak demand for oils. And another reason is many countries are switching from oil to another renewable resource like solar power or water power, wind power, something like that. Just 2 weeks ago, news reports that UK and Germany breaks their solar power records. Especially Germany, they are right now using solar power to generate half of their electricity demand. So they're really a big solar power country. And that's why the demand is very weak right now. Now let's look at the supply side. In the supply side, there are two, we will look at two major oil producers, Iraq and Russia. They are increasing their production, ignoring the low oil price. Why? Because they want to increase their market share. So even though the price is very low right now, but they don't care about it, they just increase the production. So the supply keep going even though the demand is very low. And another reason for the high supply is the advance in oil drilling technology. Everyone know what is SAGD? I don't know it as well, but I googled it. That's why I know it right now. It is a latest oil drilling technology used by Canada and help Canada to extract the oil in the deeper side of their oil land, which they cannot use the traditional technology to extract it before. So right now, more oil is coming up. That's why supply is more and more right now. So now we have the weak demand and the exact supply. Both factors will drive down the price, but they are not the main actor. They are not play a very important role in this case. The political issue plays more important role in this case. So which country is the biggest player in this game? Anyone? Any guess? Biggest player. Oh, you are economist. Well, that's why we study economics, right? Yeah. And Saudi Arabia. Why should I look at Saudi Arabia? Because the big drop in oil price is actually controlled by Saudi Arabia on purpose. Why? Because they collude with US and try to use the low oil price to put pressure on other oil-producing countries like Iraq and Russia. For example, they want Iraq to stop their nuclear program, and they want Russia to change their stance in some political issue like Syria issue and the conflict between European Union. That's another reason for actually that's the major reason for the big drop in oil price. So I've heard someone is going to broke recently, and if you want to make a big money, maybe you can invest in oil right now. And if you want to detect the signal for the recovery of oil price, you better focus more on the political issue. I think when the political movement among those oil-producing countries become normal or go back to some good relationship, the oil price may goes up again. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, William, for your money tips, and I think we have to invest later.